Good morning. This is Laura from Healthy Carnivore. Wanted to come on and I'm going to make some tooth powder. I've been really busy this morning. I made facial serum to go up on the site, and then I had chapstick. I don't have it right now, but I had made a bunch of chapstick ahead of time and had it in like one of these little jars. So I just warmed that up and filled these up for the vanilla. They smell so good. So those, I'll put those up on the site here in just a little bit. So I'm going to show you guys how to make your own natural remineralizing tooth powder. So this one that I have here is the cinnamon flavor. And I had somebody ask me if I had used, oh, I don't like the scent, so I don't even remember what it's called, cloves. And I did not, but it does have a little bit of a, like that kind of spice smell to it. But this is organic cinnamon. So, but it does have a little bit of that smell to it. So, but I did use this, like I made some for ourselves and I'm using it alternating with the other one. So, anyway, just if you don't like the taste of cloves, I don't know if the cinnamon will be the one you do. It doesn't say it has it in the essential oil. It just says that it is organic cinnamon essential oil. So, I don't know. All right, check this out. I know this is a carnivore channel, but look at my husband's pepper. Disgusting, right? But anyway, I guess it's cute. Be nice if you could like freeze dry it and use it for like part of a centerpiece on a table, but that's the only thing I would ever use it for. So anyway, I will get to the recipe and then I will get that mixed up really quick. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. You can always reach out to me underneath the description in this video. I do have the measurements for if you want to make your own. I think because I make such big batches of this, I think that the measurements I put in would make 2 of the 2-ounce containers, I believe. I usually make 8 to 10 at a time, if not more. So I have a lot of cinnamon. I have some spearmint left, good amount of spearmint actually. Peppermint seems to be the one that's going the most, and the cinnamon. But I did have some people ask me if I would do some lemon. So today I'm going to make a lot of plain where I don't have any essential oil in it. It just has all the other ingredients in it, and keep it in this so that like if I start to run low and it's Wednesday and I've got people wanting to order that off of my website, then I can just pop it in there and add the essential oils. So I kind of do that ahead of time because I got hammered one time where everybody bought everything out, which is great, but it just made it really hard for me to be able to redo it because it was the middle of the week and I'm like, crap, I'm working, all these hours at work. So, hi, Karen. Good morning. Let's see. I think that's it. So, I will go over it real quick with you. Remineralizing tooth powder. You like the cinnamon and the peppermint? Me too. Those are my two favorite. I never really was a spearmint fan, so it doesn't surprise me that I'm not. I mean, the spearmint's good for somebody if you really like it, but it's not my thing. I really like this one, and then I'm going to do the lemon. I'm only going to make 4 of the 2-ounce containers with lemon just because I'm going to put it out there and let people know because I did have a couple people reach out to me to see if I would make that. I'll make sure that I'll put them up online after I have announced it up on here and Facebook. I think I'll put it on Facebook too because I don't remember which way they had reached out to me. But I'm going to do that. Our neighbor in our garage borrowing tools again. Um, I think I heard him working on his vehicle, so it's always a lot of fun. But it's kind of nice. We live in that kind of neighborhood where we can borrow each other's tools. It's not a big deal. Um, but we are the kind of people that we're like, hey, somebody's moving out there. Hey, this is going on. So, one more thing, just so you guys know, you're going to see this stuff in the background. This is real life. This is my house. I live with a husband who is not a carnivore or ketovore or keto. He's standard American diet, but also does a lot of high fat and protein. He likes a lot of the meat. So you'll see his seasonings up there. They're all very bad. I did go on a website, I forgot the name of it yesterday, and ordered some more essential oils that seemed like they were, organic. They look like a really good company, Mountain Rose, maybe, I think somebody had told me that, and, some spices. So he's got some healthier spices coming. He won't know because I'll dump it out of this, and I'll put it in there, and I'll do it when he's not home. Shh, don't tell him. Okay, so just in case anybody sees that back there and then they're like, "Oh, well, how are you carnivore when you have that in your house?" Well, funny thing is, look at this. Oh, I didn't get any carbohydrates from touching it. It's amazing. Let's see. Me too. Not a pepper, a spearmint fan. Getting my ingredients to make my own because I go through too fast. Yeah, I went through a ton of it too. I make ourselves this. It looks like a little mini mason jar. That's the size that I make. It's just those jars weigh a lot, and it's expensive. Now, if for some reason, if that doesn't work out for you making your own and you want a larger container, if you reach out to me, I do have 4-ounce containers that I can put that the powder in if you want. But I always say try to make your own because you never know, and you can make it the way you want it. Some people like orange essence, some people like all different kinds of flavors, so you can make it your own. I haven't figured out a way to make bubblegum flavor without it having chemicals in it, so I'm not going to make that. That's just me though. Let's see. Oh, that's a good company too. Yeah. Yeah. I've never done the doTERRA or the Young Living when it comes to essential oils. Karen is saying that she's used that, but I really liked this Mountain Rose. I went through, kind of looked up their history, kind of what they stand for. Anytime I see an American flag um, in their information, I kind of like that. Uh, I appreciate that. Anyway, okay. So, what I do is I'll show you here. I may have to turn the camera down just a little and cut my head off a little. That's okay. All right, so I've got my food processor. I have already, I'll kind of show you. I took xylitol and I already powdered that in this. So the reason I do the xylitol isn't for the sweet taste of the toothpaste, although I think people are used to having a sweet taste. It is for the xylitol helps break down a lot of the bacterias that you can carry in your mouth, and that's really good, especially if you have any old cavities, fillings, if you have crowns where bacteria can get in, or if you have teeth that you have had root canals, because that's a dead tooth. And so it's going to harbor bacteria, and it can harbor, I think there's 4 main types of bacteria that they can harbor, which is kind of scary, especially if it's an upper tooth, and then it can follow up the sinuses up to the brain. Years ago, my mom actually had a lady that she took care of that was the same age as her, retired. Well, she had to retire from nursing early. I think she was 50 when she had to retire because she had gotten encephalopathy, which is infection and swelling of the brain. And it was from a bacteria that it came from a root canal tooth, had traveled up the sinuses. She went to work, even though she felt like crap, because that's what people do, that's what we do. And then it went to the brain and then the spinal cord. And so she was basically paralyzed after that. It was a mess. So, all right. So, if you're going to be making your own, you want to get little containers. You can get glass, or I use BPA free um, plastic to be able to mail these out so that they're not so expensive. I did have one that she wanted it in glass and it doubled the price of shipping. So, I can do it, but just know that the shipping is going to be really, really high. So, I tried to keep these products as cheap as possible. Um, so anyway, you'll start out with 2 tablespoons of bentonite clay. So what I'm going to do, because I'm making such a large batch, Redmond's clay is the one I use. Did you hear that ting? I'll show you what that is. So I don't want to burn myself. Okay. So it's still pretty hot. So see how dark that is right now. So that is tallow that I rendered this morning, and then I put the ring and ow, 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 and lid on it, turned it upside down for a few minutes to get that hot, turned it back over, and then as it's cooling off, it seals itself. So that's what I do. All right, so normally you would do 2 of this bentonite clay. So if you're following along, I'm doing a much larger batch. So you're going to see me put a lot in here. So for you, if you're just doing your own, it's just 2 of these tablespoons. But I like to make a large batch. I'm actually going to have to buy a new food processor. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I will tell you, sometimes I have a little over, a little under. It's just fine. I didn't even used to use measuring spoons at all. So I've come a long way. And then I'll show you the next ingredients. Yep, I'd say my neighbor is definitely working on tires. I hear him working on that. Let's see. My son is texting me. Let me send him that. Perfect. Okay. So then the next thing that you will do is half a teaspoon of baking soda. Now, the baking soda that I use, I react, plus I don't want aluminum in my body, on my body. So I use aluminum free baking soda. I use that for my other things like my deodorant, stuff like that too. I broke out. I tried making some natural deodorant and I just used this junk, um, that one, and lots of aluminum in that one. Let's see. Does it even tell you the amount? It sure doesn't. But anyway, of course not. They don't have to in America. So anyway, and it broke me out really bad. So after that, I was like, okay, so what's doing that? And I looked up their baking soda and found that it had aluminum in it. And I was like, okay, so we'll look for aluminum free. And ever since then, I've never had trouble making the deodorant or using for tooth powder. So this says half a teaspoon. This is a whole teaspoon because I'm making a bigger batch. And I'll show you the xylitol that I use too. That is the brand, the Now Foods. And I know some of the Now Food stuff is not great. That so far I haven't found where they've jacked with that, but that doesn't mean that they won't. I don't measure this out. So this is Redmond's real salt. Of course, that's an old um, pink Himalayan like Morton's that I used years and years ago before I decided to go with a little bit better salt. So it says that you can use, it says a fourth of a cup. I do not do a fourth of a cup. I will tell you, I do much less than that. I don't want my toothpaste salty, and you're going to still get plenty of the minerals. I don't even do a fourth of a cup for the amount I'm doing. I would say it's close to a fourth of a cup, but I'm doing 4 times the amount. So I would just do, I'd probably do the sprinkle side and I would just do it around to where you can physically see it on top, is how I would do it. Okay. All right. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like when it's done, because I don't want to blast your guys' ears with the thing. So it kind of looks like mud, but dry ish. So it will have a little bit of a moisture content to it, but not bad. Um, that one, like I said, has no flavor or scent. And this one is the cinnamon scent, which is really good too. So anyway, what I do, especially when this is mailed out to people, when you get this, I would just shake it up pretty good, make sure that, it's off of your sides. And then all you do is take your toothbrush, you wet it, you shake off the excess water. I put the bristles down in, and then you brush and you brush for, 2 minutes. And then I walk around with what is, the water that's came from me doing it. I walk and swish that around the, 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. I'll just go do something else, whether it's lifting weights or doing something like that. I will do that. So that is what I do. That's how I make mine. If you guys have other recipes, you can always put them out there to share with people who are looking at this. Sarah Bodine, hi Laura, I'm looking forward to receiving my tooth powder and getting away from the commercial toothpaste. Thanks for showing us how to make it. You're welcome. Yeah, the main thing you want to stay away from is the fluoride that is in the toothpaste. And if you want to go down a really big rabbit hole, you can look up what type of fluoride is being used in our water and in toothpaste. Anybody that's really been into chemistry and chemical compositions and things like that and earth sciences knows that like the old groundwater had fluoride, had magnesium, manganese, all of the things, um, which we need, but you need it in a small concentration. It needs to be that natural form. The form that is being put into these other items is quite eye opening. I'll just tell you that they had a plethora, and I'm talking trillions of tons of it after World War II. So I'll let you look it up and make your own decisions on it. But anyway, I do recommend that you make anything that you can yourself to be like the healthiest you can. Like this, the facial serum. I looked this up after they were like, you charge $10 for that. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's got like $9 worth of ingredient and bottles, so I'm making $1 if I'm lucky, and I'm not even sure I'm making that, which is fine because I'm not in this to be like I need to be a billionaire. Not my forte. Anyway, so I went and looked up. I couldn't even find one that had organic ingredients anyway, at least all the places I looked, but they were all in the $50 range, and it was less amount. It was like 1 ounce. And I thought, no, I think I'm okay. I'm gonna continue to do it that way. Now, when I do my taxes next year, if I'm making a big profit, I will not raise my prices. I'll probably drop some of them. If I'm just breaking pretty much even, I'm fine with that. That's where it'll stay. If I'm taking a big bath, I may bump a few things up here or there. I'll have to figure out, because the cost of the bottles, any of the containers, any of that kind of stuff, your machine, stuff like that, that does add in. So, but I do try to be cheap. I really like, yes, Sarah Bodine says your facial serum is incredible. I agree. um, I have made it, I think it's over 10 years that I've made it the same way, same ingredients. I make my vitamin C serum. I do get the vitamin E organic. I don't make that. Trying to think. Then I use the organic olive oil from one origin, one country of origin. Anytime you're doing organic cold pressed olive oil, you want to turn it around and it should say on the back of it, like country of origin. Of course, the best that I find is usually from Italy. That's just me personally. But that's what I do. And then with the bentonite clay, I always use the Redmans. I do know there are other places out there that I've seen that have them that are a little bit cheaper than theirs, but I just don't know where they're getting their clay from. Redmans, you can go on their website and you actually see how there's just this massive amount of bentonite clay that is over the top of where their Redmond's real salt, where they mine it. So on top of it is all this clay, and that's where they get theirs. And there was no plastics back where during the time that there was a seabed there in Utah. So that's where I get mine. So anyway, like I said, if you guys have questions, if you like this, please hit the like button, share it out. If there's somebody else that you know that is wanting to get into making their own products, share this out. They can always go to my face or not my Facebook page. You can, but you probably don't want to go there because I get a little, I'm in jail a lot. Anyway, but my YouTube channel, of course, is Healthy Carnivore. And then my website is russellbrands with a Z.com. and that'll take you right to the website if you want to look at anything there. But on Healthy Carnivore, I have a ton of videos. If you go to playlist, you can look up health, you can look up natural items, you can look up carnivore, fat, lies we've been told, all kinds of stuff that's there. Because I've lived carnivore for over 5 years. So June was my 5 year carniversary. And then I did 28 years of carnivore prior to that. So I was fortunate to have a jerk of a doctor who kind of sent me on a path of looking to figure out how to heal myself through what we eat and what we put on our body versus coming from a pill bottle, because I knew the pill bottle was never a cure. I knew that it was only a treatment, and I did not want to be on a treatment for my entire life. So I refused to go down that fake medical system that we have. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll get this done. I'm going to get it packaged up, and then I'll get online and I'll upload everything to the website. Good luck making some tooth powder. I hope you all give it a try. And if for some reason, if it's out of your reach to do that, you can always go to my website. And I always appreciate anybody buying stuff from me. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I will see you guys later. And as I always say, meet, heat, eat, and repeat.